Disclaimer: this is just an imagination. Nothing in this fanfic is related to the K-pop idol's real life. This is an imagination-based story of author. Kindly don't take anything seriously. I'm doing voiceovers. If you don't like it or feel irritated, you may mute it. Thank you. Enjoy. Yes, Mr. Lee, don't worry. I'll take care of everything. Ryan, you're not understanding. He killed more than 10 people, which includes his family members too. He brutally tortured them and killed them mercilessly. How many family members did he have? His mom, dad, elder brother, elder sister, and himself. He killed his aunt, uncle, and their son as well. Anyone else he killed who was not a stranger to him? Yeah, his best friend or girlfriend. Oh, okay. I'll handle this case. Don't worry, sir. But many other doctors are here who can take his in charge. Why you? Dad, I know you're worried. Other doctors are not being able to control him, and most of them are scared of him. I have to cure him. It's my job as a doctor. Okay, but take care of yourself. Yes, Dad. I said and took the patient's file and left to his room. I was going through the files. He has split personality disorder, bipolar disorder. He had went to many sites, they couldn't cure him. He's here for 2 months. Let's see what this case holds for me. I'm standing outside his room. I don't know why, but I'm having a strange feeling right now. I shrugged off the thoughts and knocked on the door to let him know that someone is here. I opened the door and saw him. He was seated on the ground, his head on his knees, and little sobs could be heard. I tried to start a conversation. Hello, I'm Lee Ryan. I'm a doctor. I'm here to help you out. He didn't utter a word. He just looked up at me with a blank face. He gave me a smile, and I smiled as well, but soon my smile faded away, hearing him saying, Don't try to be friendly with me. You may regret this later. I gulped as his words were deeper than his voice. I take a look at his file and read his name aloud. Jungkook. The moment he heard me taking his name, he said, Don't get on my nerves, Doc. I have not touched a single human being in these 2 months. It might not end well for you. It would be a lie if I say I was not scared. I tried to act brave even when my knees were shaking out of fear. I read it that your family. Any specific reason behind this? You really want to know? Why should I tell you? You know nothing about me. If you won't tell me anything, I won't be able to cure you. Dog. Please don't care about me so much. Don't make me obsessed with you. My heart was pounding just by looking in his eyes. His eyes hold many emotions. I could really stare at him all day. I was busy looking at him. Suddenly he said, Come back to earth, dog. Don't fall for me. You won't be able to handle the pain if I start loving you. I gulped and immediately looked away and said, Mr. Jeon, I'll be back tomorrow. The nurse will give you the prescribed medications till then. Doc, why don't you give me my medications? I'd love to take it from you. I get him. The nurse came with me. She said, Ma'am, you don't have to do this. I gave her a smile and said, Don't worry, give me the injection. The nurse hesitated but eventually gave me the injection. I went near him. I was about to hold his arm. He grabbed my arm and pinned me on the wall. I gasped. He started to choke me. I was trying to get out of his hold, but he was very strong. My throat started to burning as I felt my body getting numb. Tears were flowing constantly. I thought that I'll die today, but he suddenly left my throat and I started to cough. I was breathing heavily. I looked up to see many doctors holding him. He gave me a psychic smile. I was trembling. The pain was immense. I somehow got out of his room. I could hear him laughing. I nodded and went to my cabin. I looked into the mirror and saw the red mark on my neck. I sighed and decided to go back home. I unlocked the door and straight went to my room and laid my on the bed. I sighed. I was thinking how I dodged it today. I removed those thoughts and went to take a cold shower. I filled the tub and slid in and let out a shaky moan. My body was relaxed unlike my mind. Only his thoughts were roaming in my head. His eyes were the only thing that was popping up the moment I closed my eyes. Jungkook, you're not an easy one. I have to be more patient with you. I came out of the tub and wore my pajama and laid on the bed comfortably, trying to forget everything. Next day. Okay, I'm working right now. Leave. Yeah, you can ignore me like this. Aw, you're so cute. But sorry, I'm busy. Why? What happened to your neck? Nothing. Allergies. You sure? Yeah, let's go. I want you to meet someone. Oh, a patient of mine. Oh, okay. Let's go then. Hmm. Others' point of view. Both of them enter only to witness Jungkook tied up with rope. Wine was shocked to see blood oozing out of his hand. The rope was so tight that his hand started to bleed. He had no reaction. He was looking straight at Wine as if it doesn't affect him at all. Wine ran towards him and kneeled down to open the rope. Jungkook watched her every moment silently. Wine's eyes showed pure worry. Wine said to the nurse who was with him, "Who tied him up like this?" Nurse didn't say anything. She asked again, but this time she raised her voice a little. "Who tied him up?" Look at the nurse. Miss Shelley said you tied him up as he tried to choke you, ma'am. God, why he have to do all this? She opened the rope and looked up only to find Jungkook staring at her. She locked her eyes with him. She was lost in his eyes. Jungkook gave her a smile which was unknown. He looked down and shook his head and said, "Dog, you're too good for this cruel world. Even after I choke you to death, you care for me." Jungkook's voice was soft unlike his gaze. Wine gave him the most gentle and said, "I do care for my patients, even if they hurt me." No. Suddenly Jungkook grabbed the back of her neck and pulled her close, making her gasp. And then, "Doc, don't you dare to make me weak. My monster doesn't like to be weak for someone." The young watched everything. He pulled Ryan back and came make her stand on her feet and asked, "You okay, Ryan?" "Yeah, don't worry." Jungkook saw everything but didn't like it a bit. He himself don't know why he hated that thing for being close to Ryan. Jungkook said in an irritated voice, "Oh, Doc got herself a boyfriend." Ryan didn't say anything. She looked up at the young and said, "Okay, you go back. I'll meet you in the evening." "But Ryan, she told you to leave, right? Then why are you still here? Get out. Before you leave, I need to have a word with him." Then gave Jungkook a last glance and left. Ryan told the nurse to leave as well. The nurse hesitated a bit but eventually left. Now it was only Jungkook and Ryan. Ryan sighed and went near the table where medicines were kept. This time Jungkook tried to start a conversation. "How is your neck now? Yesterday I choked you really hard." Ryan was surprised but said, "Why? Do you really care if I'm hurt or not?" "I should care for you. You care for me too." Ryan chuckled and said, "How do you know that I care for you?" Didn't say anything. Got up and started to move towards her. She frowned and put the injection down and turned around after not getting any reply. The moment she turned around, she found Jungkook inches away. She flinched a bit. Jungkook trapped her by putting his hand on the both sides of the table and said, "You wouldn't have come if you didn't care, at least not after getting choked. The moment you enter inside the room, you prove me wrong." "How?" Jungkook smiled and leaned towards her ear and said, I have never treated anyone like this. My monster never liked a single human being. But guess what? You are his favorite now. Whisper. Saying that, he kissed her passionately. Wine gasped as she didn't expect this. She was shocked when he felt that she didn't kiss back. He pulled her by grabbing her waist and put his another hand on her nape, pulling her more close and bite her lips. She gasped open her mouth. He smoothly slid his tongue inside her mouth, not leaving any option for her other than kissing back. After a few minutes, Ryan tapped his shoulder as she was out of breath. He stopped but didn't back away. Ryan looked at him and said, "Why did you kiss me all of a sudden? I want to do many things right now. You can't even imagine what I'm holding inside. For your sake, I don't want to let it out. But for sure, I'll make you mine." Ryan gulped and said, "Take your medications properly and get well soon." Wine was about to leave, but Jungkook said, "I might sound vulnerable now. I never asked anyone to love me. I want you to love me." Wine turned around and said, "Get well soon, Cookie." Wine left the room, leaving a smiling bunny inside the room. Jungkook was given an electric shock. Wine burst inside and ran towards him. Mr. Lee stopped her and said, "It's for his betterment, Wine." "But Dad, he can't take it. The dose is way too powerful for him to bear." Mr. Lee didn't listen to her. After a few minutes, Jungkook fell unconscious. Wine ran towards him and removed all the wires and asked the nurse to take him to his room. Wine's point of view. "I can't see him like this. How can Dad do this with him? He's sick. I need to really make Dad understand about it. It's been 4 hours. Jungkook is still unconscious. I checked his nerve. He should be conscious by now." A nurse entered inside the room to give me Jungkook's report. I was busy checking his report. Suddenly, I felt a hand on my arm. I flinched hard. I saw Jungkook looking at me. I sighed in relief and checked him again. I asked him, "How are you feeling right now?" "Hungry." I felt really bad. I told nurse to bring food for him. His eyes never left my figure. I was feeling nervous. He was about to say something, but the nurse entered with a tray of food. I sighed. The nurse kept the food on the table and left. I said, "Here, eat up. Feed me." I was surprised, but did as he was not well. I was feeding him. Suddenly he said, "Will they ever get well?" "Why asking such question?" "Nothing. Just felt like asking." "Hmm. What if someday I disappear and never came back?" he asked me while I looked into my eyes. My heart ached just with the thought of him leaving me. I tried to change the topic. "Eat first, you need to take your medications. Will you be able to live without me?" Jungkook, stop. "Do you have a thing with the guy?" "Which guy?" "The one who came with you that day." "What if I have a thing with him?" Suddenly Jungkook pulled me towards him, making me land on his chest. I gasped. He held my chin and said, "I hate it when someone touches my things, and you're my monster's favorite person. Don't trigger my monster. He won't listen to you like I do. He's my cousin. Better be." Saying that, he kissed me. I closed my eyes and kissed him as well. Author's point of view. Sitting on the couch looking towards the sky, tears flowing down her eyes like river, dry lips, swollen eyes, and a broken heart. Wine was in a miserable state. She couldn't accept it that Jungkook left her. After that day Jungkook went missing, Wine was broken. She left him without her knowing. Only one thing she said: "Was it really necessary to break me like this? Never loved someone in my life. For the first time I loved someone and he also left me." It's been 6 months Jungkook went missing. Wine started to see her everywhere. She didn't believe he left her. Mr. Lee came and sat beside her and she said, "Dad, will Jungkook come?" Mr. Lee sighed and said, "He won't come back. Please get a hold of yourself. He will come back." Ryan's dad sighed and said, "Ryan, stop it. He ran away. And one more thing I need to tell you." "What?" "After he found that his informations were wrong, and most importantly, he's not mentally unstable. You are lying, right?" Mr. Isana said, "After 3 months I have decided to get you married. Don't deny this. I want you to live peacefully. Hope you will listen to your dad." Ryan didn't say anything. She just nodded her head. In these 3 months, Ryan started to get a hold of herself. She still loves Jungkook with her every inch, but for her dad's sake, she's trying to forget Jungkook. She still believes that Jungkook will come back. "Ma'am, you're looking gorgeous. The groom is very lucky to have you as his bride." Ryan had a blank face. No more tears were left to cry. She still hoped that in these 3 months, he will come back. Mr. Lee entered the room and said, "My daughter is looking so beautiful. Go." Ryan got up and left to the aisle. The moment she entered the aisle, she lost her last hope of him coming back. Tears were flowing non-stop. She had no other choice but to marry someone she doesn't love. Her father was about to give her hand to the groom, but suddenly men wearing black dress started to come in. They had gun in their hands. They all stood in a line, leaving the path. Someone entered through the path, leaving everyone in shock, especially Ryan. It was none other than Jungkook. He walked with the red rose in his hand and a small smile on his face. Ryan ran up to him and slapped him hard. He chuckled and said, "Go away, you. Why did you come back? Who gave you the audacity to show up after so many months?" Jungkook didn't say anything. He pulled her into a comforting hug and said, "I'm sorry. I love you. You will marry me?" "No. Go away." Crying. She pulled him more close. Jungkook chuckled and said, "Seriously, it's not easy to understand girls." "What did you say?" "Nothing, babe. Let's go. Father is waiting for us. I love you. Let's decide it at night in the bed that who loves her more." "Yeah." The end.